Yeah, always when you have a computer that has a virus or something on it, you want to take
Mhm.
it off the network. You unplug it. That's IT. That's IT. That's the IT answer. So if someone asks you like, what if a computer has a virus or something like that? And what's the first thing you will do? You take it off the network. You do. You would not. You would not. Do anything else. It just doesn't work because then you could affect the whole network or the whole infrastructure or the whole company. So you
Yeah.
want to avoid doing that. There's a conversation I had yesterday actually with Hemi,
Mhm.
with Kevin, Kev Rocks or Kev Diaz,
Mhm.
Hemi and Aaron. Basically, it's just you cannot make a customer wait. So this is IT 101 for you guys.
Mhm.
Never make a customer wait. Never don't do that. So
Mhm.
you want to give them a workaround
So always.
for the time being, so they can actually
Mhm.
so they actually get some work done. Someone's
Mm.
having an Outlook issue, right? We're not gonna spend 5 hours on an Outlook issue. That's just crazy. It doesn't work that way. You would not do that. And in
Mm.
the actual job, you'll give them a workaround so they could use Outlook, right? Okay, so you know how Outlook gets corrupted sometimes, and you have to recreate the whole account on Outlook, right? To give you
Mhm.
like a real, this is a real example, by the way, right? You're like, okay, so I'm gonna recreate your Outlook profile but because it's recreating the Outlook profile on your computer again. It has to download all your emails again, right? Mind you, it has to download when you make a brand new profile for someone, it has to put everything back on the computer because you just deleted it and made it again, right? So it downloads all
Mhm.
the emails on Outlook for someone. You know what happens when you do that? When you recreate someone's Outlook profile, they cannot send emails. They cannot search. You don't know how big their inbox is. What if their inbox is 60 GB of space? They've been in the company for over 10 years. You don't know that. So all these things you want to keep in mind when you make someone's profile. So then they cannot send emails. They cannot receive emails. They have issues where they search for, how you search an Outlook. You try to search for something, it doesn't work because it's still downloading all your emails. It's called indexing. This thing called index search. It's an
Mhm.
application or a function called on services, Windows services. So Windows 10 has a service called Windows Search. So what happens is that thing gets messed up because you just recreated the whole profile, so they cannot search any emails at all. So that's how it is with IT. So you create someone's email, they're like a CEO, a CFO, or something like that, and then all of a sudden they cannot search emails. So you have to give them a workaround of something. You have to give them something because they cannot do anything. They're down right now. Email when there's email, right? They're
Mhm.
sending emails always, every single day. This is not something. This is universal. Outlook is universal. So you want to give them a workaround. What do you do? Outlook's not working. If your company uses Citrix, Citrix like the cloud, tell them to open Outlook in the cloud. Because Outlook is on Citrix as well, and your company uses Citrix, right? You'll have them open up Outlook on Citrix because when what happens is with Outlook on Citrix, right? When you go next and open up Outlook on Citrix, it actually opens up it opens up the current Outlook of everything. It doesn't re-download all your emails. Everything's already there, and because that's the way it's set up in your environment. So you're not downloading emails all over again. It has all the emails there already on Citrix. That's one workaround. The second workaround is you make them open an OWA, the Outlook web app. You know how you go to office.com and you go to, you open up on the web browser. You give them that as a workaround. You do not want someone trying to open Outlook, trying to search for emails, nothing works, emails don't work, nothing works, and then you're sweating over here, you're sweating on the side over here because nothing wants to work for that person, and then they're screaming and complaining at you. You don't want that. So what you do is, as we IT calls it, we call it a band-aid. You put a band-aid on it. You give them a workaround or something temporary for the time being, as their Outlook is re-downloading all those emails. Then you go ahead and, when it's fully 100% complete, then you could take them off of Citrix. You could take them off of Outlook web app, take them off of whatever they're using. Just take them off of it. But you want to give them a workaround. You do not want to wait or tell a client to wait 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever, because you don't know how big their inbox is. When you open up someone's Outlook and they've been in the company for a really, really long time, and you don't know how long they've been there. What if they've been there for 5 years or 10 years? They're not going to be able to do anything on Outlook. It's just not going to work. So that's something that people don't talk about. So like when you go to an actual job, you have to give them something that they could work with. Don't give them anything. Give them something they could work with, and that's everything. That I'm talking about. That's everything. That's Outlook, Outlook issues, Excel issues, an application's not working. An application's not working. Maybe since you're using Citrix, right? Maybe that application works on Citrix. So make them open it there, and then you figure out later how to troubleshoot that application. That's another example, right? Maybe there's an issue with their mouse and keyboard. You don't know what the issue is. You're not going to spend 3 hours, 3 hours trying to troubleshoot a keyboard because they can't type anything. Just swap them out. Give them a new keyboard. Don't worry about it. That's how IT is. You want to just, they're having a mouse issue. The mouse isn't working, but there's no light on the mouse. This doesn't light up, right? Every time they log in, the mouse doesn't work. Just give them a new mouse. Don't worry about it. Give them a new mouse. You deal with it later. That's how IT is. You want to quickly turn it around. We don't spend hours and hours trying to fix an issue for someone. That's not how you do IT. So you gotta work smart. Be smart about it. Figure it out later. Come back later to them. When they're not having that issue anymore, or when they have time, because a lot of these people are important. You got to keep them. They have their own time. They have their own meetings. You got to be realistic about it, right? Be realistic about it. They have their time. They have their meetings. They have things they have to do, and you cannot be interrupting them when they have these meetings. They're gonna get pissed off at you. Don't do that. So you want to pick a day, a time, and email them and let them know when you have time to actually troubleshoot or fix that issue. And that's basically that's the reality of IT. You want to work around their time too, because they're human too, right? We're all human, right? So you want to work around their time too and figure out what the issue is later on. You don't want to bug them when they have a meeting to do, or when they have something important to do. That's not how you do it. That's just how as IT 101 for anyone. You want to work on their time and they work on your time. Negotiate a time and a day to fix that issue. So you want to figure out how to troubleshoot the add-ins. Like I told you before, Jonathan, like if it's an Outlook issue and then it's an add-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do is you take the add-ins out one by one and figure out which add-in is the one that's causing it to crash. So
Correct.
if they have Zoom. So for the add-ins, right? Some companies, you know what they use? They use Cisco WebEx, right? So they're gonna have an add-in for Outlook on Cisco WebEx. Then they'll have Zoom on top of that. Then they have GoToAssist, as an application, GoToAssist. They'll have that on top of it. So those are 3 add-ins, right? Then they have an add-in for BlueJeans. Blue Jeans is another video conferencing app. Some companies do it, have all those things at the same time. Then another company, and then they have Teams add-in as well on Outlook. So you got to you'd be like, oh man, this Outlook keeps crashing over here. What's going on over here, right? So then you open it up in safe mode, and it opens up fine. You're like, okay, so because when you open up in safe mode, that means when you open Outlook in safe mode, that means that it doesn't have any add-ins on it. So that's what safe mode means. Safe mode means that it opens up with no add-ins on it. So then it's an add-in. This is one of these dumb add-ins that are on Outlook that's causing it to crash. So you open Outlook again, look at all the add-ins, right? Figure out which add-in is it. Okay, maybe it's Teams. Let me uncheck Teams, close Outlook, and reopen it. It's still crashing. Okay, let me put Teams back on Outlook. Okay, let me open up Outlook again. Let me close WebEx. Right? Let me close WebEx and open up Outlook again. Okay, it's still crashing. Okay, so it's not that one. Let me go to BlueJeans. Let me uncheck BlueJeans. Okay, it's not crashing anymore. This add-in is not. Okay, so the BlueJeans add-in is the one that's causing it to crash. So what do you do there, right? You uninstall it, you reinstall it. That's it. And then the Outlook doesn't crash anymore. So you have all these. There's like 100 add-ins. It's always a dumb add-in. It's always going to be an add-in. You cannot avoid add-ins. Add-ins are everywhere, and add-ins is everywhere, and it's a universal thing. Add-ins are everywhere in every company you work in, and out for Outlook issues, IT. That's for how certain, obviously you installing something, get approval for it. First get approval for it. You don't want to install things on the fly. Because I've seen people get fired for that. Don't do that. Don't install things on the fly. So some companies have policies and procedures, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is policy and procedures? So what that means is a lot of these companies have policies and procedures. You cannot install a random app on someone's computer. You need to get approval first from a manager or from cybersecurity or from whoever is the approval of whoever's the approval in your company. they have to approve that application before you install it. Because what happens is when you install an application, I don't know if you know this. I'm pretty sure John knows this. I don't know when you install this. If you install a random app on someone's computer, it creates a vulnerability on that person's computer. You don't know because you don't know what that app does, right? And it opens the floodgates, so then someone could go ahead and get into that computer. As you know, if you do cybersecurity, you know what I'm talking about. So you want to be careful with some of these apps because it might open a port. It might open a port on someone's computer. It might manipulate a file on the C drive. You don't know that. It might change something on their computer, and then people could get on that computer. So that's why we don't install random applications on someone's computer, if that makes sense. We don't do that. Just so you got to get approved for all these things.
Yeah, we have to go through our manager for every single app installed. Even if it was like Chrome, you have to go to the manager, say, "Hey, I'm about to install Chrome," and you'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, like for people that are brand new, like usually I recommend like talk to your coworker, ask him if you could ask him or her if you can install it. If it's okay to install it. If they don't know the answer, talk to your manager. You have to go to your manager. Don't try to install something on the fly without asking questions. Please don't do that. You're gonna get in trouble for that. I see people get fired for that. Don't do that. That's a problem right there in IT. Because problem in IT is people don't pay attention to detail. That's one thing in IT. That's the one thing. And the other thing is people don't get approval for these things. They just think they can do whatever they want. It doesn't work that way. Just because you're IT, that doesn't mean you're Superman, you know? You have to ask for help too sometimes. You know, you have to ask approval for these things, you know? Nobody's Superman over here. So you have to figure out the proper policies and procedures for your company, the company you're working for, which they'll train you on that. They're going to train you on that. Don't worry about that. They're going to tell you, okay, if you're trying to install this app, you need approval from X, Y, and Z, and they'll let you do it, you know, if that makes sense. You know how you connect to VPN, and VPN has a profile for the client or the user? It's the same thing as a phone. So the phone, it downloads a profile of the company domain, whatever company domain you're working for. It creates a profile, and it's actually it connects to the iPhone. So it creates a profile on the iPhone. So then when you go to the iPhone settings, it says the profile, it says the name of the company and everything. So that means it's being managed by your administrator or it's being managed by your company or your job, basically. So understand how that works, because in iPhone and this Apple world, right? Apple world, you have to go in there and remove that. Sometimes if they cannot add their email again on their phone, they probably still have that on their phone. So you have to go into iPhone, you go into iPhone settings, you go into general, and I just know it from the top of my head because I'm always dealing with Apple issues, right? You go on iPhone, you go to general, you scroll all the way down. There's a tab called VPN. Then there's one called MDM or mobile device management. You click on that one and you click remove management. So when you click on that, boom, it's gone. Their whole email is gone from their phone. That's MDM from the company. Then you have to go and tell them, okay, can you go back to Safari and download the app again, or go back to Play Store and download the app again? That's basically troubleshooting. So you'll do that a lot in MDM world with Apple devices. So they're like, I need you to go there. I need you to remove the profile. I need you to unload or remove and delete the profile and then add it back again. So those are the common issues you'll have in an Apple device. Since that's what you're dealing with right now with this. I'm reading the description. So understand how that works. And that's the same thing on an iPad, by the way. It's the same exact thing.
Same concept.
Same concept. An iPad, iPhone, they're both the same thing. So you'll be deleting and removing a profile. You don't know this either. Like this, you won't know this. Some companies do not allow you to download more than one profile. So if you have a profile on the iPhone, right? If you have a profile on the iPhone for an email, for a company email, and if you try to add another one, it's not going to let you do it. It's not going to work. You have to remove the other one first. So you know what the problem is? Some people have two jobs, right? This has happened to me before. Some people have two jobs, and then they have a profile downloaded already on the phone from another job that they were part of, or a previous company that they were part of, and they still need those emails, right? So they have that profile on their phone. But then when you go and download a new profile on it, it doesn't like it. It doesn't work, because you cannot have two profiles on one phone sometimes because of compliance reasons, or because the administrator does not allow it. So you may have to give them a new phone. You may have to give them a workaround or something for it to work, if that makes sense. So you cannot have two profiles on a phone. Some companies allow it, some don't allow it. So it really depends what company you work for, if that makes sense. Check Zoom. So there's a plugin for Zoom. I uncheck it, recheck it, and it shows up again. and then something that doesn't even work. So then I have to elevate my account, right? You elevate your account, make sure you're running as admin, right? Because for the Zoom add-in, I don't know if you know this, but for the Zoom add-in, you need admin rights for that. They cannot install it themselves, just so you're aware of that. So you have to do it on your own. You have to do it on behalf of them. So then you have to remote into their computer. You have to uninstall, reinstall it, and then it should be good after that. Then the add-in works fine after that. So that's some of the, so not some, sorry. Most of these add-ins require admin rights. Most of them require admin rights. So the user or the client will not be able to do it. Just letting you know. Most of them require admin rights. So you have to, it prompts you for elevation. It prompts you, you know, you know what that's called, right? That's called UAC. It prompts you for UAC. And basically you go ahead and put your password in, and then as a help desk, right? You put your password in, and then it installs the app for them. So that's how it is with IT stuff. You have to know how to do that, because a lot of these applications require admin rights. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to install this application. You know, I'll give you an example, right? It's a real example. I'm trying to install this application, but it's prompting me for a username and password. I put my username and password and it says requires elevation. What the hell does that mean? You know, like, oh, no, that means you need admin rights. You have no admin rights, so you cannot install it. Can I take a look at your computer and install that for you real quick? You know, that's how it is. The only way you get a job in IT, like I said, is making your own lab, right? Making your own lab, understanding the lab, put that on your resume, put the lab on your resume. Some companies require a certification like A+, Network Plus. You got to get a certification. And then other companies don't ask for that. And it's sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? If you know someone in the field and they may have a job opening, you don't know, and they want to hire you, they want to give you a chance. So that's the other way. Then the other method is job recruiters. You talk to a job recruiter, you submit your resume, maybe they like you, and then they put you for a job, and then they get you a job. So those are all the ways to get a job. But the thing is that you have to, you know, figure it out. You have to keep applying, you have to keep doing it. You become stronger with every interview you have that you fail. If that makes sense.
It does.
So like as you're doing all these interviews, like some of them they may not like you, they may like you, they may not like you. Some of these interviews you become stronger after it, because then you know what you did wrong. So then when you go to the next interview, you're like, okay, I messed up on Active Directory, right? They asked me this question. I didn't know about Active Directory. They asked me this question on Active Directory, but now that I took the interview, now I know what I need to focus on. I'm gonna go ahead and focus on that and be more prepared for the next interview. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you practice an interview. That's how you do an interview. You want to be prepared and better for the next one. That's how it is with IT. IT is like that. So you want to be able to take the hits, because you're gonna get hit a lot, right? With IT, because you're brand new, you have no job experience, you have nothing. And then, you know, some managers they look at you like, why the hell should I hire you if you have no experience? Doesn't make any sense. I want someone that already has experience. So like you're fighting someone else that has experience versus you that have no experience. So then that's the reason why I tell people you have to give them a story. You have to make yourself stand out. You don't want to sound like a definition, because a lot of these companies, they look for someone that's unique. Be unique. Be something different. Don't give them the same boring definition over and over again. No one wants to hear that. This is 2021. So give them something. Talk about your project. Talk about your lab. Talk about something you did and you didn't know about it. You learned it. Oh, yeah, you know, I had this weird error message on my Active Directory. I didn't know how to fix it. But then, you know, guess what? I did a research on it. And I didn't know that you had to go into advanced settings, and you have to enable accidental deletion on Active Directory. You know, that's a real thing. You know, yeah, we talk about that. You know, like stuff like that. You know, like, and the manager, the hiring manager, or something like this guy or this girl, whoever it is, they're passionate about IT. They're not just trying to, you know, not trying to fake it to make it. You know, they're trying to learn. They're actually taking the time to understand how a software and application works. I want to hire this guy. That's what I want. I want someone that's willing to learn. I don't want some random guy that does not know nothing about IT, and it's gonna be a drag to my team or a drag to my company, and they have to keep nagging me and asking me for help. I want someone that's willing to learn, not some random guy or girl, whatever, that does not want to learn, doesn't care about the job. All they're there for is just to get a job, and that's it. You know, We don't want people like that. You want someone that's willing to learn, passionate about IT, maybe not that company that they're working for, but they want to grow, in that company or grow in another company. You want someone that you see that fire in their eyes, like that energy in their eyes, and all that has to do with interviews too. Like you have to have energy. You have to give that vibe to a hiring manager. It's all about the vibe too. You give them a positive vibe of you. You give them your energy, your vibe, that you're really enthusiastic about learning and being in that company or being in that job. You don't want to go in a job interview and you sound boring, you sound depressed, you sound like you don't want to be there. You look around the room, you don't want to do that. You want to have energy. It's all about your confidence and your energy. If you fail, an interview, right? If you fail an interview, you fail the technical stuff. Like I tell people, you fail the technical stuff, but you're good with talking to someone in customer service. You go with interacting with the manager during that interview. They might give you a chance. You don't know. That, you know what? I cannot, he did pretty good with customer service. And I have this big company that I have this big company. We have this big company we own, right? We have this big company. I want to hire him because I could teach him the IT stuff. He's really good with talking to people. I don't care if he doesn't know what that is. He's good with talking about because I think he could represent my company in a good way because he has good personality. So that does happen a lot in IT, by the way. Sometimes your personality is what makes you stand out in IT when you're going for a job interview. Just keep that in mind. That's super duper important, and that's something that you don't hear about. People don't talk about that. Sometimes it's your personality. If you have a positive personality, you're confident, and you have that energy, and you have that willingness to learn, you get far in life in IT or any job they're applying for, because they see you have that passion for something that will definitely make you stand out. You don't want some random guy or girl applying and then they don't have no energy. They have absolutely nothing. They sound like they're dead the entire time. You don't want that. That's what it is, man. That's how I look at it. I tell people that. People are like, okay, that makes sense. And you guys seen my Discord, the success stories, right? You've seen that. I'm not making this up. You've seen the success stories. Like people get a job in IT with nothing, no experience, nothing. People get a job in IT with just having the A+. People get a job in IT just having a computer science degree. People get into IT just having a lab at home, So it doesn't matter what you have or what it doesn't matter what you have as far as certs, degree, or these things, right? Some of this doesn't matter. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. Sometimes you get lucky and they just want you, they like you, they hire you. Everywhere's different. But the thing is, you don't know what results you get unless you try. That's why I tell people you have to try. You have to attempt to actually apply for the job. Look at the job description. You look at that long job description, right? All the requirements, like crap, I don't have any of this. Why should I apply for this job? And then they close the tab on their Chrome browser and they walk away. I'm not gonna apply for this. They're asking for too much. I can't do any of this. Apply anyway. I don't care what the hell that requirements is. It has 1,000 years of experience. I have no. That's for 1,000 years of experience and a long Jedi beard. I don't care. Apply away anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Apply anyway. If it's entry level, apply anyway. It doesn't matter. So tell people that. People get scared. They get discouraged by not me, but they get discouraged by the job recruiter because they put these unrealistic things on their requirements, right? And they expect you to have it, but you don't have it. I tell people just go ahead and apply anyway. Just see what you don't know. Yeah, you have so much to gain applying for a job. By that I mean you have so much to gain because you don't know if they're gonna hire you because you never know unless you try. You have to try. And you got to give it an attempt. A lot of it has to do with you attempting to do it. You cannot get results if you don't try it. That's just how it is with IT. That's everything. That's how I look at it. Like, I could be here talking about this like hundreds and hundreds of hours. I'm not gonna do that. I ask you like a very serious question. Very serious. Like, have you guys found it very helpful to talk to someone that has IT experience and actually coach and mentor you or talk to you? Like, have you found it very useful and helpful? Just being with me and talking to me as opposed to having no one not push you at all and motivate you?
Definitely, because I feel like when we worked together, I feel like I was stuck in the same place, looking at stuff that didn't matter, or like researching things that I really wasn't gonna get involved with on the job using Helpdesk. But now I know the path that I need to take and what to look into instead of
Yeah.
just wasting time.
Yeah. I believe you give us hope, and my guys, John and Caesar, we push each other. Um, but I appreciate every time you say, "Hey, apply here, apply there, do this, do that." Like I feel like there's no barrier. Like you're someone that I used to watch on YouTube. Now I have you here, so that I could. I'll take all the mic jokes. I don't care. And the day I score that job, listen, and I feel like we just got to share that positive energy amongst us. But having you, man, definitely it's big, it's huge, and I personally appreciate everything you do for us, for sure. So.
Yeah, I try to, because people ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I talk to people every week. Like, I feel like you need to make it like I feel like you need a mentor. You need somebody to push you for certain things. So sometimes you get lazy. You don't want to do anything, So you need like something to push you. You need someone to push you.
Yeah.
So you have to have those you have to have that push from something or someone, and then you could take the training wheels off and then do it on your own. That's how the IT's like that. So
I want to give my answer since everybody spoke. For me, it's been very good because I started looking into IT, I say, in 2020, and I started the usual route, looking at CompTIA, looking at just random YouTube videos about IT and how to get in. And until I kind of found you and found, your channel, you have like a pathway, like just like you have good advice, like real world advice, like somebody that's been in IT for a long time, and you're just sharing your experiences, and it's real world. It's not scripted. It's not something like you're just trying to get something out. You're just like, look, learn these things, do these things, and then you'll get a job if you just follow my advice. So for me, it's been tremendous, and just networking, because there's people around you that also are in IT, and just knowing you, I've connected with other people. So it's been very beneficial just, being in that inner circle. My I guess IT circle is growing. So for me, it's been awesome. And yeah, just talking like this, just like if I was at a place and we just spoke, and we like worked in the same company, and you're like a senior IT guy and I just started, and we'd be chatting, and you'd be telling me, things about the industry. That stuff is very valuable. So for
that's
me,
good, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of because a lot of people don't have like a mentor or a coach or something, and then they're like they get stuck. They don't know what to do. It's like IT is like so big, right? And then you don't know where to go or what to do. That's the problem with IT. And then the problem also is like you have no roadmap. There's no roadmap in IT.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people like one of the most important things I wish I would have known is to have some sort of mentor or someone to guide me or give me advice. So that was like one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel, was because of that. Because I have like, I'm like, okay, let's make a video. Kev, I need help with my resume. Okay, why should I have a video on resumes? Oh, go watch this video on Outlook. Okay, I have a video on that. That's try to be realistic about certain things. Adding content that makes sense. Things that are real. Like not some random video of me doing TikTok and I'm dancing. It's just like actual useful information. Like educational information that's gonna help someone, affect someone in a positive way, where they can actually get a job and stuff like that. That's the point of it. It's to actually help you get a job in IT. The point of the information or the videos are to get a job in IT, because not everyone will sit here and talk to you. Not everyone will give you guidance. Not everyone will, and if they do that, they charge like an arm and a leg to try to get you to pay them to, give you all these things. I don't do that. I don't believe in that. So that's just the way I am. I'm like that. And it's just people, but the thing is, like I tell people, just, respect my time a little bit too, because I'm human. I'm not a robot. I'm human. So tell people respect my time. Don't message me 100,000 times. if I didn't get back to you today, maybe I'll get back to you later on or something like that. Like I'm human too, you know. I have my own work schedule. I'm human. I'm human too. I have my own work schedule. I have people messaging me on LinkedIn. I have people messaging me on Facebook now. I have people messaging me on Discord. So tell people like, you gotta be mindful of someone else's time too, because like people have their own schedule. You know, on IT jobs, I like that too. You know, you're helping a client. They have their own schedules. Just be mindful of people's schedules. Very, very important because some people don't respect the time and value or what the person's doing. So that's why I respect other YouTube communities because some of them make some real good content that makes sense, that's real, that actually helps people. You know, but you wanna respect people's time. That's very important. When certain people that make these videos and stuff like that, like you wanna respect people's time because everyone's human. You know, I'm not a robot. Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm a robot on coffee, maybe. I don't know, but you wanna respect people's time. So.
Your time, man. I always do.
No.
Everything you do.
Yeah.
Always.
Always good.
All right, man. I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna go continue work. I was gonna say working out. I'm not working. I'm gonna walk. So I'm gonna continue walking. Get my steps in.
Sounds good.
I'll let you. We'll go over some other stuff next week. I just want to see what happens this week. You know, positive vibes.
Positive vibes, Jonathan. Monday.
Oh yeah, baby.
I hope
all right,
that's
man.
positive vibes.
You guys take care. You guys have a good day.
All right.
Later, guys.
Later.
All right, peace.
Peace.